Students, Brian Proctor, the art teacher, and I am back. I'm back. So where have I been? Well, let's just go to the drawing table and we'll talk about it. Let's go. All right, art students, here we are back at the drawing table. And before I explain this, let me apologize because I know it has been a long time since we've been at the drawing table. And the reason I'm apologizing is because a lot of you guys have been with me from the beginning. You have seen every video. You have always been there. So for me to just disappear and not let you guys know what's happening, it's just wrong. It's an injustice. So I apologize for that. So let me explain this to you now. A couple weeks ago, well, it's been 3 weeks now. If you guys have been with me, for those of you who've always been in the first row, the front row class, you've always been there, you knew that I was retiring. So it's been about 3 weeks since I've retired. So I have been working on something that has always been in my head for the longest time, shall we say. And this is it. You all know that I've done my 360 book. Let me pause and throw this down there just because I have it. You all know about this. So this is the follow-up. I don't want to drop it down because if I do all this, it's going to slide around. So this is the follow-up, this thing that I wanted to do because I don't care who you are. If you're starting, hands are a big problem. So for the last 3 weeks, I have been diligently working on my next 360 handbook. You see all of these papers, and these are doubled. These are doubled, like one side and then hands on the other side. So there's going to be a lot. I think it's probably going to be about 100 pages maybe of hands because, as I say, we all have problems with hands. So this is why I have not done any videos lately, but I need to get back on it. And as soon as I finish this, I will get back on the videos full time. So just because I have all these here, let me just throw some stuff up because these are just things that we need, just in comics. And like I say, both sides, they're all both sides. In comics, there are situations where we would use or need to have like hands done. So yeah, it's like I said, it's gonna be about 100 pages, front and back, left and right. I'm going to take these hands and I'm going to flip them so that if you have a left-handed character, you have the left hand. If you have a right-handed character, you'll be able to do the right hand as well. So this is just what I've been working on for the last 3 weeks. And if you are doing comics, it's also good to have not just those 11 by 17, I don't know what they call those sliders, but it's also good to have like the book too, 11 by 17 book, and you can keep your drawings in, especially if you're doing comics. That way they won't just be all over the place. So that, and I will leave a link at the end of this video to where you can get this. All this stuff is from Amazon. I always go to Amazon to get my stuff because it's just easier than going out to Home Depot or wherever, or Office Depot, and get stuff. All right, so since we're here, let me do an action pose position. Oh, as you probably saw, I changed the look of my YouTube channel. So I'm also going to change the way that I do the drawings and show you guys more. Stay with the comic related stuff, more action poses, more getting into comics, panels, so forth and so on. So that's going to be the new format. And what I plan on doing is starting out with poses and kind of breaking it down. But the long detailed breakdown part, that's going to be on my Patreon channel. I couldn't think of it right now because YouTube, I don't want anybody to spend like an hour on YouTube. If you go to the Patreon channel, then you want to see this, so you don't mind staying like an hour for a video learning stuff. So it's going to be very detailed and very broken down in each video. All right, so let us get started. Let me zoom in and then we'll get started with an action position. I figured I'll do the clown action position. I'm going to dress him or make him into a character, but he's going to be my character, the clown, and then we'll go from there. So let me zoom in. Okay, actually that wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad of a zoom position. Good enough. All right, so I'm going to do this action pose, and then I'm going to speed it up. I'm going to see if I can finish it and speed it up. That way, as I'm saying, I won't waste too much time. All right, so you know that everything you do, even the hands, and when I finish with the handbook, I will break it all down to you. So when you get the book, you'll understand, and to make it a little more easier for you to draw. So if you break down the body in parts, and I don't want to go, it's been a minute since I actually did anatomy because, like I said, I've been doing hands. Each body part is different, so he's going to be kind of like leaning down, so that's going to be like the center of the top, as in his head is probably going to go right here. Come down to the, bring this down to the waist, and then, what's that center line? Center line is going to be like the here, and go to probably about right there. So that's the waist, and the side hips. I can't think of what that's called right now. And we'll do this. And this is like a quick rough. And there's your upside down house. So I'm going to spread the leg. I should have done it the long way, because I want to spread his legs a little wider. But I'll just go as far as I can go. So for now, I'll do this, and I'll do this. And then I'll come back a little bit. This is going to be the rough. Trying not to make it too long, because you know that's a sign of an amateur when you draw and you go off the page. You should have turned it around the other way. But as I said, I haven't drawn in a while. And then I'll do the head. Put the head. So the neck is going to go right here. So it's the center line. So it's going to be the V in the neck right there. And I'll put the head about right here. So shoulder is going to go about right here. And the arm is going to come down. Maybe over. So we have your oval. We have your, if you want to break it down, you want to have your cone. And let's put this other arm back. So here's your delt here, which you won't really see. We'll curve that. You have your delt here. Your foreshortened. It's your bicep, tricep. And then your, let's put that a cone. Let's give it a little bit of bend. Your forearm. So of course he's going to have something in his hand, and he's going to have he's going to have his sword, and he's going to have the sheath in his hand. If I'm saying it right, he's got that wide stance. I want it like this. So keep him on the ground. The shoe's going to come off because you know he's got his clown shoes, and this is what I'm saying about rookie amateur mistake, like that. So that is your basic pose. That's your basic gesture pose. So let's connect. I might shrink it down a little bit more. So I'm going to bring the chest around. The stomach's going to be right here. Chest is going to go up, right up into that delt. And I'm not too worried about the muscles right now because I'm going to dress this. And that's one thing you don't need to do, is worry too much about the muscles. If you have everything in the right position, then the rest of it should come out good. There's a hand right here. Nope. And I will try to finish this, but I'll do it a fast motion, and I will tape it down. I cannot ink unless I turn it, but I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing when I ink it. All right, so you can put the arm hand down or this way. Let's go this way. So you can see the back of the hand, a little bit, part the back of the hand. Now let's go down. Let's go down a little bit. So the sword's going to go down this way, and this one is going to go up this way, regard, depending on how much room I have. So as I said, we're just doing the body, getting it right. Your love handles or obliques right here. It goes right down into the crotch. The other one's here, it goes to the crotch, and this is your buttocks, so it's like right behind here. The leg goes up into here, with a little bit of buttocks right there left over. Then this is this big muscle. I don't know what this muscle is called, but I'm going to find out because I always draw it when I draw my legs. It's my knee, and I would have stretched them out more into a nice long stand, but because I ran out of room, I didn't. So whenever you draw the knee like this, if you go straight down to the ankle, you put your other part of the side of your calf right there, and your leg, you have your lower part of your leg. So here, and that mainly works from the front. So as I said, I retired, and it's been about 3 weeks now. And the crazy part is, if you guys work long enough to retire, I thought it was going to be like, woo, woo, I'm free. But, I don't feel that yet. Maybe in a couple more months. But every day I feel like, oh, I have to get ready to go to work. I have to do something. It's not that I sit around and, not do anything. But, this is what I wanted to do. My other job was the main job because it paid the bills. This was kind of a side thing because I loved it. Now this is the main job. Hopefully it will pay the bills. So tell your people to subscribe. I know you've subscribed. If not, subscribe. But it's just weird. It's a weird feeling. I know I don't have to go to bed tonight and get up, because my last job, I worked there for 15 years, and I had to go to work at, I had to be to work at 4 a.m. So I went to bed at 8 o'clock every night. So my body's still tired because I am on that body clock. But, I still wake up early, but then I smile because I know I can go right back to sleep. I don't have to get up. So that is a good thing right there. But I don't feel like, oh, I'm free. It's weird. It's weird. For all you guys who might be looking at this, who may be retired, you know exactly what I'm saying. But yeah, if you are able to retire one day, you'll know. I talked to my mother. She retired in 90 something, and she still says she still feels like she has to do something or be somewhere. It's just weird. So I guess even if I had the money to go to like Hawaii or something, I'd feel like, oh, I got to get back home because next week we got to go to work, or it's just, yeah. So okay, anyway, this is going to be the position, and now I'll do the face, and I'm going to figure out what outfit I'm going to put on him. So, but that is the basics. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do the rough. You get your muscles in here, not going like, okay, I got to get this like ribs over here and every ab and this and that. You get the basic outline, especially if you know your character is going to be dressed, because that's going to cover up all of the extra muscles and the veins and so forth and so on. So, how did I have this hand? This hand like this, the arm. And this is going to be the handle. And this is going to be the actual, no, that was going to be the, no problem. Just round it off. Sheath. You can use that to block as well. You can use that to strike as well. And then the sword is going to come here, which is going to go off the page, which is such a rookie mistake. That's all right. That's okay. It's been a minute. Now, let me figure out what I'm going to put on him, and then I will be able to finish him up. So let's do the face. He's going to be looking down a little bit. Is he going to be looking at me? Yes, he's going to be looking at me. And that's the thing. When I draw, the body determines where the face is going to look. I don't know. Most times I draw a position without thinking about it. So I just let it do its own thing. So the nose, the nose is going to be round. And the mouth, since he's going to be looking down, if that's right. It's been a minute since I've even looked at my clown. So let me get a book and figure out which outfit I'm going to put on him, and then we'll continue after that. Okay, so I am going to put the karate gi on him because that is what he ran away in. Hopefully this light won't bother you. So his eyes are going to be here. It's kind of more like looking down. I'm not going to put his full eye because he's got the makeup on. And when I first designed him, I wanted like a sad panda face. And that was my inspiration. I looked at the panda and was like, you know what, let me kind of get this look. But the way I put the shapes in the face, I wanted that sad look. So let's make this nose a little bigger. Make this mouth goes down, up at the chin, and there's another color here. So I'm going to ink this. So you'll see better designs when it. So here's the ear. Since his head is up, the ear is going to be higher. The hair, where's the ear? Where's the ear? This is the bad part about using, I should have used red, but I wanted you guys to see through this light, this terrible lighting I have in this room. So his hair is going to come here, go around, here, go around, and then down. Curve, give it more of a curve. And this, I wanted to kind of give him, you know how the clowns, the hair is like fluffed up or floofed up. His is kind of like if it got wet, it dropped down because he used it was like a super hold for hair in his hair after he cut it. So it kind of went down. It didn't stay up because let's just draw on this. Clowns usually have the hair that go up like that. Nose and the hair goes around and it's up. With his, it got wet, shall we say, and it just went down. And I wanted that too. Like he's been out there, so he can't get that look back. And the makeup is permanent because of what he did on his last job, which caused him to actually leave the circus. And for those who don't know, you cannot leave the circus because of what the circus is, which is a group of international assassins, and they do too much. They did too much. So everybody knows the secret of the circus, and he's the #1 performer. You move up in the ranks by being an assassin. So you move up in the ranks, and he moved up to the #1 spot, and all of the other ones, all the other performers were really jealous because he's the newest one. The ringmaster, who was in charge of the circus, saw him performing. He was a performing clown. He would perform for kids' parties, and these guys attacked him. And he had a wooden sword in his trunk. He was going back to his car, and he kind of like made quick work of these guys. And the ringmaster was in his limo, and he saw him, and he recruited the guy, and he told him, he didn't tell him, you know, the circus was a organization of, you know, international assassins. He just told him, you know, because you're a clown, you must want something better. And he always wanted to be in the circus, so he recruited the guy. And I'm trying to fix the body, which I shouldn't be trying to fix the body because, as I said, it's going to be in clothes. All right, so now that I've got the face, let me put the clothes on it real quick. If I can remember, I know it was torn, so, and he had another shirt on under that. I don't know. I need to pull up one of my clown things, and since this is the magic of YouTube, I can pause it and pull up something real quick, and I will in a minute. I should remember what a gi looks like because I used to wear them years ago. I studied martial arts, and I actually taught for about a year. I started with was American Karate, I think it was. That was the second one. It was whatever Chuck Norris took, because I remember the teacher was saying it was not Kempo. Anyway, I took like 3 or 4 different styles. You took 4 different styles. I ended up with Kung Fu, which I enjoyed that because I had a really hard teacher when it came to Taekwondo. Hard as in we had a bunch of kids that joined, and he would try to make the kids do the same thing as the adults, and the kids were like, "I can't do that," and you know, so basically we had to suffer because the kids couldn't do it. So we would do like leg lifts, holding our legs up. And he was like the type that would make make everybody stay, keep your legs up until everybody's got their leg up. So yeah, he was military. He was an MP in the military. So these guys, he didn't play. I mean, it's like if you're going to be there, you're going to do the workout. So another guy came, joined up, and he said he just came from a kung fu studio. He didn't like kung fu because I remember what he said. He didn't like it, but because me and my friends, we were always going to the kung fu theater, kung fu movies over the weekend. I said, let me try this. So I went there and I liked it, and I stayed there. So yeah, eventually I got a black belt in the karate part. The kung fu is different, totally different. But I ended up getting married, had a kid, and moved, and then, how that just, life hits you, as they say. So this was tore up too. Yeah, his pants were tore up because he's been out there. He's like a vagabond. Oh, he's trying to escape from the circus because he escaped, but they're after him, and the orders are to bring him in dead or alive. So yeah, his nice gi, his nice uniform is tore up, and he's got his clown shoes, the clown combat boots, because inside these shoes there are a lot of gadgets. He has a lot of gadgets. He's kind of like a James Bond because he's an assassin, and the shoe has a lot of stuff like smoke that comes out the heels, so he can kind of like disappear in smoke. If he's surrounded, the smoke will come out and he can fight without being seen. They have hydraulic jacks so he can jump a little higher. What else does it have? I had a little shotgun in a very one-shot shotgun. All of that's on. If you go on my Facebook, I believe it's on my Facebook, and look at it, it kind of details everything that he has. And then he has his flower, which I always forget about that. That has a bunch of different functions to it. It has like laughing gas, sleeping gas, different kind of other gas, poison gas that will spray out of the little daisy. And also the daisy, you can use that as like a throwing knife. Yeah, I went all out with this guy. Okay, so let's see if I can ink this without turning it. If so, then I'll tape it. Start out with the head. Now, I'm not one to usually ink something this messy, but I'm giving it a shot today. And I think I will speed it up. I'll speed it up. But before I speed it up, I want to finish that sentence. I usually don't ink something this messy. I like to see my detail and know exactly where I am when I ink. Yeah, because I like to see what's happening before I start inking. But with this one, and time-wise, this is why I'm speeding it up. I want to ink over the mess and erase it and see what I got. All right, so now let's speed it up. All right, so here we are with this really, really, really rough sketch, and definitely a rush ink, because I tried my best not to turn it, because that's how I ink. I have to turn like every little bit to get it right. I don't see how people can do that without turning it. So here's my rough, and when I take off the pencil, I see what I have, and then I can go back and adjust it if I chose to go back and adjust anything or fix anything or any lines that I miss. But I'm not one to do a lot of ink. I like to color. I like my color to show my shadows and so forth and so on. But yeah, here we go. Here we go. So something that I would go through once I put it on the Patreon channel is something, as I said, I would take one or two, or like one area, and just focus on that, like the head or the arms or the shoulder or something, and then just go in depth on another piece of paper and say your joint is connected like this, your muscles go here and it goes down here and it comes this way and this goes that way, and then just break it down piece by piece every time I do a different anatomy. Also, I want you to see, like, number one, where would the eye line be on this particular page? So if you wanted to draw a background, which you would definitely need to do if you were going to do a comic, whichever, because when we draw, we just draw the basic, we draw the basic body. Maybe we see a position, an action position, or we think of a position and we draw that, and then we let it go at that. But when you look at it, you want to say to yourself, okay, where would my eye line be? So this one, because you are still using like the top of the shoe, I would say it's going to be from somewhere between here and here. So I would say this is where my eye line is going to be. So whatever I'm going to do, I don't know if you can see that, building wise, actually it would be right here. This point would be right here, and it would come from that point. Brian, it's been a minute. Then that way I can do whatever. If I'm going to put something in the background, a car or whatever, because you know anything above that, you're going to see the bottom of it. That's the front of it, Brian. Anyway, anything you see above that, you're going to see the bottom. Anything below that, you're going to see the top. So that way you can say, okay, I'm going to put something in here, like maybe he's got his clown van or something like that. Way in the background. It's going to have to be way in the background, like this. Clown van, clown VW, like that. So you'll know where to place objects. Whenever you draw, see where your eye line is going to be. That way, as I say, whenever you draw something in the background, you will know. There's your point right there. Building, another building, another building, another car back here. You'll have it, everything lined up already. And then we'll do that in every video. And then also, as I said, we'll focus on something, face, position, balance, something. We'll just pick that out. But that's going to be on the Patreon because it's going to take a little longer. So that's going to be it for this video. And as I said, I'm working on the hands. I'm also working on, since we're here, I'm working on like 3 things at one time because I have the time to do it. But I said, let me focus on one thing at a time. So I'm also working on the second book, Animal Corp. Front and back, of course, Animal Corp. Turn this around. So I said, okay, I'm doing too much right now. Let's concentrate on one thing at a time. So I'm doing the handbook, and that should be done within, hopefully, end of the month. End of the month. I don't have that many more pages to go because I've pretty much got all the hands that I wanted to get, the positions, holding, guns, rifles, knives, clubs, whatever. Just little things like holding the telephone, cell phone, the spray can that you saw, things like that that I figured you could use when doing a comic book. So as I said, that's going to be probably about 100 pages at 5 drawings per page. So you have a lot of hands that you can do. Plus I might throw some miscellaneous hands in there in the end, just in case. We'll see. But so yeah, a lot going on. I got a lot of time to be able to do it. So If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Subscribe to my Patreon channel. You don't have to, you can go on the free thing. You don't have to pay, but this is going to pay the bill. So, you know, if you want $1, 50 cents, whatever, I'm not mad at you. So anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I will see you guys in the next video, and tell a friend, subscribe, hit the like notification bell button thing, and yeah, stick around. All right, I'm out.